Hello, friends. I am Leah Fireheart. This is the Fire Kitchen. And today we are doing something very special. I'll get to that in a minute. I am joined here by my husband and moderator, Grognard Gourmand, who will be just on the other side of that wall very soon. And our Puggle, Chester, who has conveniently placed him. Oh, I'm wearing my glasses on top of my head. Probably don't need those. Um, who has conveniently placed himself right here in the doorway. Yes, I'm pointing at you. Look, I'm going to boop your little nose. Boop. um let's see who is here. Oh no, oh dear, I have various streamers up on my laptop, none of whom are me. That's a problem. I was running a little bit later than I anticipated, because I tore apart my setup yesterday and I thought I had put it all back, but as it turns out, maybe I hadn't. So I still had like the camera to deal with, and that turned out to be more complicated than I thought it was. That, you know what? Everything's fine. It's fine. Everything's all fine. Everything's fine. All right, let's say hello to folks. Let's see. Vix. Wait, Jane was here first. Congratulations, Jane. And you'll never go hungry again. Brigitte, thank you for that resubscription. I appreciate it so much. Enjoy your emotes and your ad-free viewing, which I know you prize. Okay, so right, okay, so Vix is here. Hi, Vix. You were here early this time. Oh my gosh. Jane, hello. Brigitte, hi. Andy, hi. Bop into the music. I know, isn't it good? It's like do 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 do. It's like perfect. It's like the perfect like breezy like poppy hoppy retro vibe. Pies is lurking. Hi, Pies. Good to see you. Munchkin. Oh my goodness, what a delightful surprise. How are you? Here for the Dragon Age cookbook, I assume. Lassie, hi. Hi, hello. And you like this outfit. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad. I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. This is what happens when I'm running a little bit late. All my dresses are hanging in the closet. When I wear them on stream, I move them from this side of the closet to that side of the closet. And this was the next one in line. So this is what I'm wearing. Okay, so Munchkin says a rare Monday appearance while Scobbeast is at the doctor. Cool. Brigitte says, I imagine this is the outfit a polymorphed red dragon would wear. Well, rawr. Consider me your dragon. He's fine just to follow. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, and normally I'm not live on Mondays. So, we are, in the middle, not, honestly, we're not even in the middle. We're not even remotely in the middle. We've barely started Saturnalia, and this is the fourth day of December, also known as Dragon Age Day. So, we're doing a stream every day until Christmas. It's only the 4th, so I my energy's good. I'm down to stream. We'll see how I feel in 10 days when we really are at the halfway mark. But I just thought I would see if I could do it. Why not, right? And if I don't, who cares? It's not like I'm going to get my pay docked or something. Or what happens? What bad things happen to people? Oh, people could like hit a truck in a motorcycle. That would be a bad thing. Don't do that. So yeah, you could do that. And that's not going to happen. No matter how hard I try, there's no way to get a truck well, you probably could get a motorcycle into my kitchen, but please don't. How's Chester today? I think Chester's good. Wait, where did he go? Oh, he's still here. You just can't see him. He's right there. He's like right off camera. Dude, sit over here. Go over there. What's that? Chester, look, right there. Right there. Look, here. Look, right here. What's that? There you go. Now you can see him. He's good. I think he's good. He didn't like it this morning when I went to bar and to the grocery store. He whined, but now he's fine because he's been sitting on the sofa in my lap for the rest of the afternoon. So like from like 11 until like 2 when I got in the shower. Munchkin says, I don't know who's live on Mondays because I'm usually doing things in Meat Space with him. That's nice. Yeah, no, I'm usually, so ordinary, my regular schedule is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I stream Tuesdays and Fridays from 4 to 7, and then Thursdays from 10:30 to 2:30 during the day. Eastern time, by the way, all Eastern. And so I'm not normally live. I know there are a few people who are normally live.
Stick with me, and you'll never go hungry again.
Pingu, hi. Thank you for the resubscription. I appreciate that. How are you? It's good to see you, Shark Shark. Yeah, so I know there are a couple of people that would have sometimes I felt like participate in the shenanigans of Dragon Age Day, and none of them are playing Dragon Age. They're all playing other things. So here we are celebrating Dragon Age Day all on our lonesome. It's fine. Lassie says, BG3 Lassie news. My BG3 camp got a naked, knocked out henshin in it. I don't know how, but it does. Oh gosh. I don't know what any of those words mean, but if you're alarmed, so am I. Jane says, I love how random this feels, and I'm not so secretly happy because I hang out with you here. Oh, thank you. It's very random. It's me mostly trying to fit myself into spaces that are not occupied by other streamers, which is a challenge. I realize I have failed today, but also that I was making pork tender. No, I'm sorry. I'm not making pork tenderloin. I'm making Gurgut. I'm making roast Gurgut. And so I'm mostly trying to fit myself in around other streamers with more or less success. We're doing our best. But that's the objective. But today, because I'm cooking something that's like best eaten like right out of the oven, I was like, you know what? I'm making dinner. I'm going to stream at my regular time. It'll be fine. Lassie wants to know if Brigitte got that jar open. I am also waiting with bated breath to find out whether Brigitte got her jar open. Did you get your jar open, Brigitte? Brigitte says, I need someone with a strong grip in my life. I'm sorry. You need to find someone who lives on the same continent as you and has a strong grip. Dr. Andy Shark Shark. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. I was mostly lurking in your stream, lurking in the grocery store, and then came back home and had it on, but wasn't really very chatty. But yes, Dr. Andy streamed today. It was fun. Lassie says, well, I definitely knocked him out, but she definitely should not be naked or in the camp. I think that's just a lesson for life. Dr. Andy says you're doing your best. You got so many snacks. I did get so many snacks. In fact, I got free snacks. I'm doing a good job. Oh, thank you, you guys. Oh my gosh. That's really nice. But I got so many snacks. I got so many free snacks. So I've talked before about the fact that like I do these stupid surveys for my grocery store, and they send me like, I don't know, 3 or 4 surveys a month. And most of the time I do all of them because I take my responsibilities very seriously. But every once in a while they'll send me one and it's like, this survey is going to take 25 minutes to complete. And I'm like, oh no, it isn't because it's going in the trash. But in return, they give us coupons for free products. And a lot of the time they then survey us about them afterwards. And they tend to be things that are new. So this is, and this isn't anything to do with me being a streamer, by the way. This is like something that I guess anybody can get invited to or sign up for. I don't know how I got involved, but I did. So these are pretzel crisps, and they're okay. So you guys know, I don't know how to explain this. There are different kinds of, these are all hard, crunchy pretzels, right? But there are different kinds of pretzels. Like some of them have this like more butteriness to them than others, which are the good pretzels, right? And these ones have more like butteriness to them. I don't know if actually they have butter in them or not. It says, no, they don't. So I don't know where that comes from. Oh my gosh. Okay. So enriched wheat flour, cane syrup, rock salt, malt syrup, and sodium bicarbonate. It's actually not very many ingredients. But I don't know what gives them that like Maybe it's the malt that I'm tasting. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so those were free. And then the other thing that was free are these. This is the stupidest thing. I would never buy these. I mean, I don't want to say it's stupid. I just mean it's stupidly expensive for what it is. But it's like salami and cheese like rolled up together, and it's in this little convenient single serve package with like two of them, and you just like take the package and you shove it in your mouth. Um, but the thing is, it's like $11 for like 6 of them. And I'm like, if I were to do this, I like on a regular basis, I would just buy some salami and some cheese and roll them up myself. You know, I'm not going to pay $11 plus all that packaging to have them do it for me. And kudos to you if that's your thing and you want to do it. There's no judgment here. I'm just saying that for me and my life, that's kind of wasteful in terms of packaging, stupid expensive, and doesn't really enhance the practicality of the product for me. If it just comes pre-rolled, I could just do it myself. So I probably wouldn't get those again. I definitely wouldn't get them if they weren't free, but that's what I bought. Yes, adult Lunchables, kind of. Well, I'll show you. Since I was talking about this in Dr. Andy's channel, I'll just show you what they look like. But yeah, there were. Okay, so actually, I guess there were only. Oh no, there's 6 of them. There's 6 of them. Okay, so this is what they look like. They look like this little like blister pack, and they're just like some like 2 or 3. I don't know. It's not just one piece of salami or one piece of cheese. It's like a couple pieces of salami and a couple pieces of cheese kind of like rolled up together. But like, I feel like for 6 packets of this for $11, like, I feel like you could get a lot more like packets out of it if you just bought like a half a pound of salami and like a half a pound of cheese and rolled it up yourself. So I don't know. Lassie says last time I saw him, he was in a pool of goblin blood, knocked out. I did steal his underwear, but he should have the rest of his clothing. And not in camp. And breaking a bottle of grease did not wake him up, so he's actually naked, knocked out, and covered in grease. Lassie! Happy DA4 day! Hi, Gamesy. I'm headed to bed but wanted to stop by. Hi, how are you? Sleep well. Get good rest. And hopefully we will see you again sometime soon. And thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. Right. So I am going to try to go at a good clip today. I'm not going to try to actually like stream for 3 hours. You want to know why? Because I went to a concert last night. We were out too late and I'm tired. I'm not like low energy tired. I'm just like, I'm literally sleepy. I'm just like, I cannot wait for bedtime today. So tired. When did I become a person who goes to a 7 p.m. concert? The headliner started at 8. Finished at 10 and we were home by 10:30 and I'm like, it's like I was out until 3 a.m. I feel like a zombie. Vix is okay. I'm back. What did I miss? Love your lovely red dress lady. Thank you. Kamesy also loves my red dress. Thank you. I also love this red dress. I love this red dress so much that I bought it in leopard and pink too. I have literally the exact same dress in 3 colors. Yes, I know I'm ridiculous. It's okay. Okay. Jane says that's how I am too. Wait, you are so. Oh, you mean being a zombie, being too late? Yeah. So, Vix is the same with socks, so I totally get it. Socks makes more sense though. Like, I mean, socks, nobody's gonna see. Well, I mean, I don't know. If I didn't tell you that they were the exact same dress, you might not notice, but whatever. Right. So, here's what we're doing today. So, as I said, I'm gonna not try to like stream until 7 o'clock. I'm actually gonna try to just like cook the thing and eat the thing, and then I'll see you tomorrow. Because I will. Okay, wait, hold on a second. You're allowed to be a sock slut. You're particularly allowed to be a sock slut in this category. I decided today that I was going to stream into the Dragon Age Inquisition category because I looked at all of the Inquisition, like all of the Dragon Age games, and there were like 60 people watching Origins and like 111 watching Dragon Age Inquisition, and DA2 wasn't on there at all. And I was like, how is it Dragon Age Day and like nobody's streaming Dragon Age? What the heck? So this is what I've got. Wait, I'll show you. It's so pretty. I actually went ahead and just ordered it on Saturday. Or no, ordered it on Friday when I realized that today was going to be Dragon Age Day and I knew I needed to stream because I said I was going to stream. And so I think this is actually, oh, it might be still on my throne wish list. I should probably take it off. But I went ahead and ordered it because thanks to all y'all showering me with love and affection and bits in the month of September for my birthday. I have some excess cash available to me in my stream fund to be able to do some nonsense and shenanigans, and I chose a $35 nonsense and shenanigan to stream today. Jane says, yep, and I'll still go to a Tuesday night concert knowing full well that I have an 8 to 5 that I'll have to trudge through the next day. I never learn. Lassie wonders if stabbing him will wake him up. Is he just knocked out or is he dead? Jane says, I just ordered more sock yarn so I can make more socks. I have a love-hate relationship with socks. Should we talk about this? We shouldn't talk about this. We should talk about what I'm cooking. Okay. Oh, dropping things on the floor. Oh dear. Oh, okay. Dropping things on the floor that I can't show you people anyway, so it's fine. Okay. So, first of all, we are making this Gurgut roast with lowlander spices and mushroom sauce. Technically this is supposed to be a 2.5 pound pork roast, but heck them anyway. I'm not gonna do that. I have pork tenderloin, and so I'm just gonna cook that because it was in the freezer, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm also not using lard. It wants me to use lard. I'm not going to use lard. You guys, I'm not going to go all the way to the store and buy lard, especially because the butcher that sells it isn't even open on Mondays. It was just like, no, I'm just not going to do it. We're just going to use oil or butter or something and it'll be fine. But salt and pepper, pork roast, paprika, mustard, lard, vegetable broth, butter, onions, garlic cloves, pancetta. Oh, shoot. I forgot. I decided I didn't want to buy pancetta because I have, hold on a second. Let me pull it out. Where are you? Here. I have these, and I'm gonna have to defrost them now. Gosh dang it. I have these. They're uncured, smoked bacon ends and pieces, which is going to be close enough to pancetta that we can get away with it. And for whatever reason, they were out of like the reasonably sized packages of pancetta at the grocery store today when I went. So I didn't want to buy 3 pounds of pancetta. Imagine that. So yeah, so I knew I had that in the freezer, and so I'll defrost it very quickly. Lassie says stabbing him will wake it up or not, and then his blood will mix with the grease, and that would not be ideal. I don't know anything about how Baldur's Gate works, so. All right. And then the other thing, hold on a second. The other thing that I'm going to make today is this, which is honey carrots. Wait, you see what this looks like. I think it's funny that the clearly we're dealing with a whole carrot that has a carrot top in the book. But the recipe calls for baby carrots. It actually calls for 2.25 pounds of baby carrots. And I think I might actually have it because that's a lot of friggin' carrots for 2 people, you guys. It's even actually a lot of, like 2 pounds of carrots is a lot of carrots for 4 people. So it's just a lot of carrots. I need a different, here, let's use this. I was going to say I need a different, like bookmark. So that's what we're making. Yeah, it's a lot of carrots. I don't know. I feel like I don't even really like cooked carrots that much, but I'm kind of willing to just like suck it up for the sake of Dragon Age. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to suck up honey carrots. Also really thirsty. Why am I so thirsty? Well, I did go to bar today. And last night, oh, the concert. Right. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch over to food cam. Jane says I have my emotional support water bottle today. That's really good. I love that you have an emotional support water bottle. I feel like that's a good thing to have. So I went to bar today, which is probably part of why I'm thirsty. But then last night, before the concert, I drank so much water at the concert. But before the concert, we went to an English pub that's near us. And I had steak and stout pie. That was good. And mushy peas, which is good. And a beer, but like a little tiny beer. It wasn't like an enormous beer. It was like a little tiny beer. And it wasn't like particularly salty, I didn't think. In fact, I had to add salt, which I think is very weird for restaurant food. But it is an English pub, so, you know. But yeah, I've just been really thirsty all day. Lassie says I want to wake him because I'd rather not have a large, naked, grease-covered man knocked out permanently in camp. But then I don't know. Maybe Carlock enjoys the view she has. Okay. All right. Gix has too much going on. I'll be back. Please. Yeah. Please go take care of everything you need to take care of. Don't worry about it. It is great to have you here, and hopefully we'll get a chance to play later. But yeah, go do things. Good luck. I hope it all goes well. Okay. So, right. Let's get started on this, which is to say, all right. Preheat the oven to 350. Sure. That's an easy instruction. We can do that. This really is a beautiful book, though. It's like, I mean, the cover is really nice, and some of these like gaming cookbooks, okay, so the Stardew Valley cookbook, like the one that I had on my throne wish list that I got from someone, the paper doesn't feel like great paper. Like it's not a hardback book, it's a paperback book. This one's actually really lovely. It's got like a map of you can't really see it, but it's a kind of a map of Thetis, and it feels nice and hefty. The photography is really beautiful. It seems to have kind of like, I think what they did was Photoshop like game stuff into the background of the food is what it looks like to me, like scenes from the game or like art in the style of the game. Although these are like basically identical, so I don't know. Maybe they actually did do like fantasy backgrounds. I'm not really sure. So I guess the question is, any BG3 players in chat know how to wake up someone you knocked out? That's a perfectly legitimate question and one I cannot help with. Okay, so let's grab, wait, what am I putting this on? What am I roasting this in? Large frying pan. Set the roast in the pan and bake for 45 minutes. I mean, I guess I could do that. I think the pork tenderloins will fit in here. Let's try it. I'm having issues. Right, so if we're not going to use lard, what are we going to use? We're going to use olive oil, I think. I'm going to use this extra virgin olive oil blend. So my parents were here. They left last Wednesday. But they had stayed various places where they had a kitchen for several weeks. And so they acquired sort of a collection of various groceries that then we inherited. So at this point, I have three containers of various different kinds of olive oil at the moment. So I'm going to attempt to start to use some of those up. Where is the tenderloin here? So this is actually two pork tenderloins. This is going to be a mess. Let's just, how do I want to do this? Why is my brain just suddenly stalled out? I really don't want to wash. My problem is I really don't want to wash another thing. So, okay, let's just move this stuff over here. I went grocery shopping today and included all of the little bits and pieces that I'm gonna need for cookies coming up over the next few days. And so there's just sort of a random collection of extra stuff laying around. Let's just do this. Let's just put this here. I'm gonna open up this pork tenderloin over the sink. Give me a second. And in fact, I think I'm gonna dry it off so that it browns properly. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not pork tenderloin. Gurgut. My Gurgut roast. I love the idea that... Oh, I should read you the flavor text for the recipe. I'll do that as soon as I'm done washing my hands from cleaning off this piece of meat. Okay. And then we're gonna salt and pepper that. Let me wash my hands first, though. I was starting to say the book itself is physically very pretty, but also like they did write the like the like flavor text for the recipes, and I guess they actually came from BioWare devs, so it really is kind of a legit like BioWare product. And when I flip that over, I will salt and pepper the other side. All right. Anyway, so here's what it says. Oh, Shark Shin. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Okay, so here's what it says. Wait, hold on. Now I do need my glasses. Right. All right. So it says Gurgut roast with lowlander spices and mushroom sauce. It was spring when I trudged through the frostbacks on the way toward one of the many Avar settlements that populate the area. As this is the time of year when the Avar begin preparing for the following winter by smoking meat, pickling vegetables, and drying fruit, I thought it an ideal time to visit and observe. Unfortunately, springtime is also the Gurgut's mating season. I don't understand what springtime has to do with what's obviously fall, but you know what? Whatever. As a result, I nearly discovered firsthand why travelers are advised to keep their distance from these brightly colored beasts. Luckily, a nearby group of Avar hunters quickly came to my aid, and I was spared the indignity of beating at the beast with a ladle. In an expression of my thanks, I shared with them several jars of spices from home, which they happily accepted. These lowlander spices are prized among the Avar and often reserved for feasts as rare delicacies. What unparalleled good fortune, then, that I later had the opportunity to dine on the slain Gurgut, now roasted and seasoned with the spices I had gifted at the hunter's hold. I don't know if there's like a frame story. Let's look that up. Like, what does it say? Oh, there kind of is. Okay, this is fun. All right. That's just starting to go, so that's going to be like another 3 minutes. That'll give us plenty of time to read this. Okay. Dear Mum, it's me, Devin. I'm all grown up now, or well, more grown up than before. You always said I was too much like a child for my own good, and given the number of times you caught me daydreaming about going off on some grand adventure instead of sweeping the floors, I will grudgingly admit that you probably had a point. But guess what? I finally went on an adventure. A big one, just like the hero of Ferelden. Well, okay, maybe not like the hero of Ferelden, but I did travel across Thedas. From Ferelden to Orlais to Rivain to even to Vinter, plus everything in between. It was a long journey, Mum. Weeks and weeks on the road with the occasional bandit or beast. You'd probably have hated it, but by Andraste, I loved every second of it. The sights, the sounds, the food. Oh yes, the food. The reason why I set out on this journey to begin with. I know that I wasn't particularly adept in the kitchen last time we saw each other, and yes, I do remember that I nearly set Castle Coosland aflame with my first attempt at a stew. But I'm pleased to inform you that I have been practicing extensively, and I think that if the position still existed, I could take up your mantle as the Coosland's family cook. Granted, I doubt I would be able to fill your shoes completely. No one could manage such an impossible task. But I like to tell myself that I would still be able to make you proud. And that takes me back to this journey and the all-important question of why. Why did I spend the last year traveling from one end of Thetis to the other, sampling whatever local cuisine I could get my hands on, even dishes that were downright strange? You're probably thinking that it's because the hero of Ferelden ate it at some point. Yes, that's certainly a part of it, though I'll have you know that I tracked down foods enjoyed by the champion of Kirkwall and the Inquisitor as well, not to mention all of their companions. But the truth is, Mum, throughout all of this, you were right there with them at the forefront of my mind. Because when I thought of ways to honor you, I kept coming back to the most important lesson you taught me. Love through food. Every time I left your kitchen with a warm, full belly, I felt your love for me. And though I can't do the same for you anymore, I can fill this book. I can stuff it full of different recipes, dishes you've probably never even heard of, and think of you with each new entry. Because you see, Mom, underneath all of that childlike excitement, the dreams of adventure and heroism, I'm still very much your child, and always will be. Thank you for everything, Mom. I can't wait to share this book and the lesson that inspired it with the rest of the world. Love, Devin. I think it's really cute. It's like a great, an actual little story. And then all of the recipes have their little flavor text. I'll read you the carrots one when we get there too. But first, let's go ahead and flip this. Flip these tenderloins. Oop. Oop, oop. Salt and pepper that side too. So that's got some nice color on it. Good. Right. Sprinkle with paprika. Brush the mustard over the meat. Okay, so I've already messed this up. That's fine. 1 teaspoon of paprika. Do I have regular paprika or do I only have smoked? I might only have... Oh, no, here. Regular paprika. Have absolutely no idea how any of these things are going to turn out. In fact, I haven't even put them on the site yet, just because I was like, if this is completely disgusting, I think I probably want to avoid that. It'll be interesting to see whether I decide that I think I can recommend the cookbook as an actual cookbook and not just like a piece of fandom stuff that only true fans might enjoy. Mustard. Does it just say mustard? Does it say any particular kind of mustard? No, it doesn't, which means that we're going to go to the box in the closet and pull out two, 4, 6 mustard packets. Oops, I dropped one. All right. So, 2 tablespoons of mustard. I'll get a pastry brush here and use that to brush it over the top in a second. Paprika is burning. Let's turn that down. All right. There. This is fine. That's fine. All right. Okay. Set the roast in the roasting pan. Roast in the roasting. I'm not going to set a roast in a roasting pan. I'm just going to put the frying pan in the oven. Probably now, in fact. Even though it's not quite at temperature, it's close. And then we're going to set that for 45 minutes. Regularly turning and brushing with the pan drippings. Okay, I don't think it's going to take 45 minutes, but we'll see. I'm going to set this for 25 just in case. And we will try it from there. Okay. Then we're going to make the sauce, which is going to take 20 minutes. Let's take a look at the carrot recipe to make sure that we know what we're going to do here. That's not going to take as long. All right, let's go ahead and do the sauce then. So while the roasting is in the oven, melt the butter in a large frying pan over medium heat. Onion, garlic, and sweat, pancetta and sweat. Okay, I'm not using pancetta, so I'm going to use the butter. Well, hold on a sec, the bacon as the bacon ends as our fat, because it's going to be fattier than pancetta. It's just not quite thawed yet. Okay. So let's get, what did it say? Saucepan? Large frying pan. Okay. Well, this is the largest one I have at this stage, so we'll use that. It's gonna cut some onions, cut some mushrooms. This will be fun. I don't actually know that I need to, like, chop these too terribly much more. Thinly sliced or cut into bite-sized pieces. Yeah, actually, I don't think I need to cut these any more than they already are. So it said 18 ounces. So I got 14 ounces of mushroom blend that's white shiitake and baby bellas. And then I got another 4-ounce one of gourmet mushrooms, which are cremini, shiitake, and oyster blend. And let me tell you, convincing the man to go back and look for gourmet mushrooms. this morning was kind of a time. I was like, I'm sorry, I wouldn't ordinarily be so picky, but it did specify the kinds of mushrooms that it suggested that I use, and it's not just the white button mushrooms. Anyway. And he was like, yeah, it's just our process to stock those last. And I'm like, okay, but could you just check for me? Yeah, I felt like a Karen, but I got my mushrooms, so I guess I'm happy. All right. Onion and garlic. 2 onions. An onion. So there's a bunch of other things in this cookbook, some of which are like, okay, so the big one that that I raised my eyebrows out, and Brigitte actually agreed with me. First of all, there are a couple that really just don't sound good. Like, they don't sound like they would be like edible. But the one that Brigitte and I kind of raised our eyebrows at was there's one that's hold on, let me see if I can actually read it. There's a recipe that says Varric's favorite cinnamon rolls and Varric's favorite pastries. And I think they're saying that these are Varric's cinnamon rolls because Varric is a cinnamon roll. But does Varric seem like the kind of guy that's going to go nuts for cinnamon rolls? I don't know. Does he mention anything like that in the game? I was a little disappointed that there's no like Iron Bowl's banana bread or anything like that. Or even better, like plantain fritters or something. In fact, I didn't specifically notice a lot of Culinary recipes. I'll have to go back and actually look. I basically was just trying to like pick something that I mostly had a lot of the ingredients for. Because I was already acquiring quite a few specialty ingredients for cookies later in the week. Brigitte says Varric is a writer, so he may want synonym rolls. Oh no, that actually made Jane laugh. It actually made me laugh too. I will push the pun button in just a moment. 2 garlic cloves, minced. All right. Where are my garlics? All right. Well, hi. Hi, little buddy. Guess what? It's not time yet. What are you doing with your feet in the kitchen? Huh? I guess that means there's also a grog. You know what I didn't look at? I didn't look at like alcoholic beverages. Is there alcoholic beverages in this book? It didn't even occur to me. Should we look? I did not do any particular planning for a grog with grog segment tonight. Probably under potions. Is there a potions section? I don't remember. Hold on, let me look. First, pun button. For synonym. And then this one. Okay, hold on a second. Oh yeah, drinks and potions. Lichen ale, the hissing drake, hot chocolate, and even sip. Dragon piss, literally says dragon piss. Ravani Tea Blend, the Golden Nug, the Emerald Valley, or Chastened Sackmead. Hey, hun, do you want to take a quick perusal of these potions while I chop up onions and garlic?
Yes, but I won't make any promises.
Oh no. Because I didn't plan for this at all, and so I have absolutely no idea what's in there or available. Shark, snow. Good to see you. Jane is on hold with the IRS after being on hold for an hour earlier and getting disconnected. I'm glad you're here to keep me company for round 2. Good for you for going the distance and trying to get whatever it is resolved that needs to be resolved. Unless this is like literally your job. I have no idea if this is like a personal thing or a work thing, but yes, happy. I am also pleased that I am here to keep you company. I actually kind of feel like part of the reason that I was like, when the idea of streaming every day between now and Christmas occurred to me, I was like, do I want to do this? It's like, it's such a focus on Christmas, and is that really, but it's not really. I mean, like, it's just, I don't know. It kind of is, though. It ends on December 24th, so, you know, it is kind of Christmassy. But the reason I was kind of excited was that, like, I don't know, there's like a lot of tasks this time of year that are solitary, wrapping presents and baking and, you know, doing stuff around the house. It's cold, people are home more often, and then also, you know, not everybody celebrates Christmas. Or any particular winter holiday around this time. And people take time off and stuff. And so I just kind of, and also not everybody has like a, you know, tremendous relationship with this time of year. And so I thought it might be nice to just kind of be able to keep people company and hang out together. All right. Let's, chop these up. They're actually beautiful onions. I feel like not all of my onions have been very high quality over the last year or so, and these ones are kind of nice. Oh, James, this is not my job. I'm also doing my job. Oh, it's fun though. Wait, what's fun though? What, calling the IRS? Or streaming every day? I hope streaming every day, because I don't think calling the IRS is probably very fun. All right. I haven't ever really had to do that, thankfully. All right, cool. So there's our onions. Let's see where we are with the pancetta or whatever it is, our bacon ends. I think that's enough that we can use part of those to cook our stuff. Okay. So we want to use about 1/3 of this. It's a little bit awkward to try to decide how much 1/3 might be. That might be more like half. So maybe those pieces? Okay. I'm going to put this down. Probably use that for some kind of soup or something later in the week. In fact, maybe I'll just make more of that lentil soup, but I'll do it off stream. Probably. Um, Snows is fun though. Streaming every day, it feels like I haven't gotten to see you in so long. I mean, that is the other advantage, right? Because you do see different people when you stream at different times on different days, which is that's kind of a fun thing. You're right. Yeah, and actually the other day, I think I woke up at like I think I woke up at like 5:30 and I happened to see that you were still on, but by the time I like got out of bed and got to the laptop and started to turn you on, I think you'd already ended stream. So, I just am never going to I'm never going to catch you. Okay. Jane says I don't actually know why I have to talk to them. I owed taxes, set up a payment plan, went to check on it because it didn't go through on Friday, and they said they had to talk to me. It's an IRS adventure. It's an IRS adventure, very much like traveling across Thetis in pursuit of no, I well, that's a good thing that you can see it as an adventure. Snow says, yes, I wish I had time or energy to stream during the day, but probably not until the holidays are over. I mean, it's fine. Everybody has their own schedules, has different schedules. I don't expect you to rearrange your streaming schedule, aka your life, around me. That would not be very practical. I was more just lamenting that I like you a lot, and the VODs that I have partaken of are always very sweet, and so it's just sad that I don't get to hang out with you more often. Yeah, see, exactly, holidays. Like, it's funny because while I am like joyful about it, like I am kind of like I like the baking, and I like making special food and going shopping for loved ones and wrapping presents, and it does feel very festive and stuff. It's also a lot of work. And and obviously Grog is great. Grog is super supportive, does all the dishes, and would like go with me to do shopping or do whatever, help me wrap presents. But I never ask him to do that, not really. I mean, except for the dishes thing, right? And so it's just kind of like and he usually ordinarily, like if we do put up a tree every year, usually he's the one who does it. So that's like a thing. But and that's a job. but like I feel like for a lot of people the I don't want to call it burden, but like the work of the holiday falls on one person in a lot of households, even if that is not necessarily the case for me. Jane says it's gotta be an adventure, otherwise be grumpy about it. Well, that's a great attitude then. Shark Corey would like to treat Leah. Leah is gonna have, oh, maybe that's why I'm so thirsty. I had pretzels and salami for snack. But why don't I treat Leah with some of these pretzel crisps? Hi Corey, how is Corey? When is Corey working this week? Those are very crunchy. I can hear how crunchy they are in my ears. Grog says these cocktail recipes are weird AF. There's a mead recipe, but we already have Corey for that. We do. Corey should just send you the link to her work Google Calendar. Sure. Ooh. I feel like that's relationship progress, Corey, when you share a Google Calendar. So Snow says my kid's dad, ex, doesn't like decorating, so he literally never helped me with anything. Yeah. And I get that, right? Because, like, there are times when I'm not feeling it, Just times when I'm not feeling it. But you also kind of have to understand that it's not just for you, right? Especially if you have kids. Like, it's a whole thing. Like, you want your kids to have good memories, right? And so you want to do the thing. And if someone decides that they don't want to participate in that, then all of the work falls on you, and that sucks. Corey says I have the parts. I can come brew that mead on stream. Oh my gosh, are you planning on more mead? Because we could do that. I didn't know. I didn't know that was in the offing for the near future. Lassie, bye. Have a great something. Your tilapia cakes with coconut and mango sounded amazing. I hope they were delicious. And I hope you figure out your Baldur's Gate 3 problem. And we'll see you soon. Have a good day. Jane says I'm the designated present wrapper in my family. Corey says we can't upstairs with the boys, and this will be Millie's first holiday, so we'll see. Snow says having a real tree is important to me. It can be better for the environment versus plastic trees being broken and causing trash, etc. Yeah. But it is work to get it in and get it up for sure. Corey says they'll probably bring out the 5 tiny trees and timers. And maybe if Belle and Xantos want light up the front trellis, that would be so fun. Corey says I have 2 carboys to work with and a good 5-gallon brew tub, so we should do any combination. I will, or it will only get worse and worse. That's fair. That's true. You'll have the day you have. That is a philosophical way of looking at it. Corey says I want to have a real tree of the rooted variety so I can plant it later like we did as kids. That's such a cool idea. We have a plastic one. Okay, that's done enough that I'm gonna put the onions in with it. So are any of those recipes even remotely edible or remotely makeable? Grog? I'm just going to rinse this off so that the onions don't make me cry. Snow says, so typically I have to use physics and struggle to get it here and up. It was easier when I had a girlfriend who was super about Christmas. Yes. Yeah, having help to do a tree is great. We do have an artificial one. But we've had it for a while.
You're
okay.
hot, Cupcake.
Alice, hi, Shark. Grog says that's an interesting question. There are several I would categorize as never in 1,000 years. Snow says it's another deal. Grog says there are several that are, yes, we could do this, but why? And all the measurements are in tablespoons, which is doubly weird. That is a very strange recipe. Can I have my book back if we're not going to make any of those? Also, do you want pretzel crisps too? I read the ingredients. They should be fine for you. This is going to make so much sauce.
I'll just leave you with this recipe.
Okay.
2 tablespoons coconut rum, 2 tablespoons Jägermeister, and 2 tablespoons pineapple juice.
Is that the dragon piss?
No, that's the Antibes Sip Sip. The dragon piss... okay, the hissing drake. Okay, the hissing drake. 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon lemon juice.
Okay.
Very specific.
Mm-hmm.
1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of vodka.
Okay.
4 tablespoons tomato juice. So we're working.
We're making a Bloody Mary here. Okay.
Squirt of Tabasco.
Okay. Yeah.
Squirt of Worcestershire
Yeah. We're making a Bloody Mary.
Pinch of pepper, pinch of salt, celery rib, and pickle. Yeah, it's
a Bloody Mary.
It's a Bloody Mary.
Yeah. What's the dragon piss?
2 tablespoons Himbeergeist raspberry brandy, at least 80 proof or higher if you want to set the drink on fire. 4 teaspoons blue Curaçao, and a shot of sparkling wine.
There's only beer down there. I don't think we can make any of those, sadly.
No.
Although that one doesn't sound terrible. Although I don't know that I would set raspberry liqueur. I don't think I would set raspberry brandy on fire either. I don't think it would do anything good to the brandy. Like, I don't think that would improve the flavor of raspberry having been set on fire. Seems doubtful. Press X to doubt. Okay. Okay. And several have weird fruit brandy distillations as ingredients. I'm not sure where this recipe book actually came from. Like, all of the temperatures are like American Fahrenheit degrees, but like some of the ingredients, like nettles. There's a recipe for nettle soup. And Brigitte was surprised to hear that I had never had nettles, which makes me think they're a more common ingredient in the UK and Europe than they are here. Dirtle, hi. Am I here yet? Wait, is who here yet? Is who here where? Corey has nettles? Of course you do. Where did you get nettles? Opting out. Hi. How are you? Shark. It was the best of Shires. It was the worst of also hi. They can they can cure that now. Opting out also has lots of nettles. Oh, I see. Okay. Dirtle said Bloody Mary 3 times. That's supposed to summon her. I think I might have said Bloody Mary 3 times. I just didn't say it like consecutively. Does that matter? Corey says mostly because the sting is fun and I'm a glutton for punishment. It's a good thing we're actually streaming in the Dragon Age Inquisition category. By the way, so Dragon Age Inquisition is considered a mature age game. So today we are considered a mature age stream, which is great because I can be all mature or something. Also nettle tea. Is nettle tea good? What does it taste like? I was intrigued by it. I just didn't want to have to go. I wasn't sure I was going to have the energy to go tracking down nettles. But when I looked at the recipe, here, it's like really pretty, like really, really pretty. Look how pretty that is. Well, maybe you can't really tell, but it looks dull. Here, let me use this camera. Yeah, this is better. That's more true to the color in the book. Look how I mean, it's not just a fancy bowl either. Like, that's like pretty. I would totally eat that. Jane's also, yeah, I've never had nettles before. Jane's also never had nettles before. Never had nettles. Opting out says my wife planted a bunch years ago, so we didn't need to head down to the river to get them anymore. Closer to the main path out of the house than is ideal, but who's complaining? As long as you don't have to walk through them to chop down the tree she wants out of the yard. Grog wants to know if it was a nettle gain. Well, Dirtle, it is obviously how it works because he just did. Opting out says her friend gave us some licorice root tea bags, and that plus nettles makes a great tea. Interesting. I mean, I could make Dirtle a mod, and then Dirtle could potentially stop you from doing some things, at least by doing it first. There's a cooldown on the pun command. It's a short one. but there is. All right, so this is bacon ends and onion, which, I mean, how bad can that be? I'm gonna see where we are with the pork tenderloin, since this isn't actually a pork roast. We are at 185 degrees, which means these pork are tendered. 172. That's actually probably fine. I'm gonna leave it in here and turn the oven off for right now. Those tenderloins are tenderloined, which means that we are way off schedule now. Mods can't mod mods. No, but you could type command, so exclamation point SA, which is like shout at SA grog, and try that. Did it work? No, it didn't work. But Dirtle says Dirtle says also, Leah, don't make me a mod. The consequences would be terrifying. I don't want to shout. You don't want to shout at Brigitte? Why don't you want to shout at Brigitte? Shouting at Brigitte is always good. Also, Dirtle, I know you say the consequences would be terrible, but I don't think so. I think if I made you a mod, you would take your responsibilities very seriously. All right. Pancetta. Add the cranberries. It wants us to use dried cranberries. I'm slightly alarmed, but I'm going to do it anyway. Ever so slightly alarmed by the use of dried cranberries in this mushroom sauce. But this is the Dragon Age cookbook and thus an Avar recipe, and we're going to take the Avar's word for it that this is going to be good. I don't think I have a working scale right now. I wonder how much an ounce is. An ounce is 1/8 of a cup. And a quarter cup is 4 tablespoons. So 2 tablespoons of cranberries. Assuming that I did that right in my head. But either way, how bad can it be? It's 2 tablespoons of cranberries. It's either going to be good or it's going to suck. And I don't think the exact proportion of cranberries is going to matter that much. Turtle says, I know you too well. I do indeed. Okay. Now, so there's the cranberries, and now I'm going to throw all of these mushrooms in there, this is too many mushrooms for this pan. Do as I say, not as I do. Don't crowd your pans. But those are going to cook down a lot, so I'm not that worried about it. An ounce is 1/16 of a pound. Opting out says, why would cranberries alarm you with mushrooms? Sounds great. It's just the dried ones. The dried ones are sweetened. And so, like, they're going to be qualitatively different than like a straight up like regular cranberry would be. I mean, I suppose I probably could get unsweetened cranberries, but you have to kind of specifically look for them, and they're not that easy to find. At least not at like my regular grocery store. I'd probably end up having to order them online and stuff. I might put a lid on this, if I'm honest, because it will sweat the mushrooms faster. There. Just look at you doing math. I did math. I mathed, Mama, look. Yeah, don't crowd your pants, kids. That's not what I said, Turtle. Jane says mushrooms cook down. It's fine. Exactly, it is. It's fine. Corey says like a bag of cranberries, just the berries, nothing else. I have cranberries in the freezer, but it says to use dried ones. So I'm using dried ones. And also a scale. I have 2 scales. I have 2. And in theory, they both work. They just need batteries. Vix is back. Good grief. I'm sorry you're having such a day. It's coming. I have a pork tenderloin. No, I mean, I'm sorry, a Gurgut roast in the oven. And I'm sweating mushrooms on the stove. That's the current objective. I hope things are going okay over there. Opting out says, yeah, if you're arranging dead drops with a guy who knows a guy who may or may not be in contract with a cranberry farmer, that's probably too much bother for unsweetened. Yes. Although you could also probably just order them from Amazon. I just didn't. um One of my mods could probably add that quote. I think it's quote space ad. I didn't say it though, Dirtle did. So don't quote Leah Firepants. I didn't say it. Jane says, I spelled that. No, I didn't even notice. Jane, if you hadn't said you spelled it wrong, I wouldn't have noticed. I read straight through typos. Corey has given me a lot of practice. Sorry, Corey. On Amazon, I'll do the dead drop thing. Yeah, and you know what? I'm disappointed that I didn't actually. I got the recipe on Saturday, but I didn't realize. But I didn't really look at the book until Sunday. And we do have a situation that is almost literally that thing. I can get mushrooms from a mushroom guy. I have to go to the farmer's market to do it. But I don't know where they come from, and I don't ask questions. He brings the mushrooms in paper bags. I buy them, and then I cook them, and they're delicious. But I don't have a similar relationship with a cranberry farmer, unfortunately. Just the mushrooms. Not a lot of cranberry farming, I don't think, in Virginia. Why is it that cranberries come from Massachusetts? Does anyone actually know? Or do they come from other places besides Massachusetts? I mean, presumably if they come from Massachusetts, they can also come from other northerly climes. Is it just because it's wet? Is Massachusetts unusually wet? Hi, Hellraiser. Hey, Leah, just so you know, it says you're playing Dragon Age Inquisition. Don't know if that's intentional. It is, in fact, intentional because I am making food from the official cookbook of Dragon Age, Tastes of Thedas. We are cooking today Gurgut roast with Lowlander spices and mushroom sauce. So yeah, I know it says I'm playing Dragon Age Inquisition, and I'm not. But the whole reason I decided to put myself in the Dragon Age Inquisition category and not in food and drink is that for Dragon Age Day, there are so few people actually playing Dragon Age. I feel like years ago when this first was like a thing, I don't know if it was like a first thing, but like a couple of years ago, even on Twitch, like there would be a lot of people playing Dragon Age, and now almost nobody is. Opting out says the thing with cranberries is that you don't want to get bogged down with details. Well, no danger of that here. I am not bogged down in any cranberry details. Why is it Dragon Age Day? Dirtle? I don't know. I think it's because it's DA. And the D is this December, which is the only month that starts with D. Yeah, it's the only month that starts with D. And then the A looks kind of like a 4, and so it's December 4th. I think. I don't think it was a BioWare thing. I don't think this was a BioWare thing. I think this was a fan started thing. I actually don't think BioWare. I mean, obviously BioWare is totally down. But I don't think I think it was a fan started thing. Dirtle says, because to be quite honest, I think it's a bit stupid for individual video games to get their own day. I mean, there are a lot of people who have a lot of affection for this video game, and a lot of them like to, and in the past, there have been kind of like big fundraising efforts surrounding various causes, on Dragon Age Day. And there have been, And of course, Dragon Age did release a little bit of a sneak peeky trailer type thing. I posted it in Discord. I thought about playing it on stream, but then I realized that there are definitely people that are avoiding kind of like all content surrounding the new game and don't want to know. And so I was just like, I'm just not going to play it on stream. But if you want to, if you want to view it was in a tweet. They sent a tweet. And so if you want to look at the video about the new game that is potentially coming with a larger sneak peek sometime in 2024. Who knows when the actual game's going to come out, but that's fine. Then you can look at it there. But yeah, over the years, there have been like a lot of like fanfic writing and just like a lot of things surrounding Dragon Age. It's been very fun. And I didn't get to participate last year, so this year I'm gonna. The thing with cranberries, they're in my head. I think that's probably a Cranberries song. That joke will linger. Yeah. Do you have to let it linger? Yeah, I don't have her voice. I'm sorry. Munchkin says, I think any excuse for people to be excited for a thing is fine by me. I agree with you. Do you have to? Yes. Well, we're just going to give that a pun because even though it's not like really a pun, it's kind of a pun because it's a song title. All right. We have sufficiently sweated enough liquid out of these mushrooms that it's not actually terrifying to stir this anymore. So in the interest of potentially, I think, boiling off some of this liquid. I don't know exactly how long this is supposed to take or what our objective is here. I am going to take the pork out of the oven though so that it doesn't get totally dried out. Here. All right. What are we doing next? Mushrooms have shrunk slowly, release their liquid. Add the white wine and thyme. Reduce the heat to low. Simmer for 5 minutes, then keep real warm until the roast is done. 1/3. This makes me think that this was translated from metric. And it makes me think that it was done by somebody who doesn't write cookbooks. Grog said that the drink recipes were all weirdly in tablespoons. People don't make alcoholic beverages by measuring vodka in tablespoons. It's just not how it's done. And this one is 1/3 cup plus 2 tablespoons of white wine. That's gotta be converted from something, right? Because that's bizarre. That isn't gonna make any difference. Hellraiser says I like the Bad Wolves version of that song. I also love what the Bad Wolves did with the proceeds of their cover of that song. Wait, Jurtle likes the Bad Wolves version too? The story behind it is heartbreaking. What? Jane loves Bad Wolves? Yeah, Corey agrees with me. That's odd. That's very odd. That's a very odd thing to want. I don't know what Bad Wolves is. What's a Bad Wolves? All right, so I think that's probably sufficient. I'm gonna actually grab a half cup, and it's going to be a scant half cup of white wine rather than making it although I think I'm gonna add the thyme first. How much thyme? 2 tablespoons? No, I'm sorry. We don't do 2 tablespoons of dried thyme. That's insane. I mean, maybe 2 teaspoons, but that's a lot of thyme. Yeah, maybe let's do teaspoons. That's probably sufficient. 2 tablespoons? Who needs 2 tablespoons of dried thyme? That's like, look, okay, so here's 1 teaspoon. And here's 2 teaspoons. That's a lot of thyme. That is entirely sufficient. Good gosh. 2 tablespoons of thyme. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be all about the, like, a lowlander herbs or whatever, but, like, please. I'm not going to poison myself with time just to fulfill some Dragon Age prophecy or something. Okay. Oh no! Chorus is good lord, that is way too much time for your time. I'm only gonna post one of those puns for one of those puns about time. Hellraiser says Bad Wolves did a cover of the iconic song Cranberries song Zombie. They donated the proceeds of their cover to the Cranberries lead singer's kids due to her passing away in a plane crash on her way to reprise her vocals of the song. I didn't even know that. Time leaves are tiny and a pain in the ass to pluck off the stem. Yeah, and this literally specifies dried, which is fine, but like that's just a lot. Thyme and cumin, which is not a combination that I am accustomed to, particularly not with cranberries. Who wrote these recipes? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and do half a teaspoon because cumin is another thing that's like a pretty robust spice. And I don't know that I need a whole teaspoon of it in my food. In this food specifically. All right, so here's the mushrooms. Like there are things about this that make sense and things about this that don't make sense. And I have absolutely no idea how this is going to turn out. Whose idea was this? I mean, not that I'm saying that.
Fruit or
oh,
dessert.
Des. Hi, Des. Oh, Corey says ew, cumin. Avoided Cobra. Hello. Hi there. Welcome in, Des. Hello. How are you? How was the rest of Stray Gods? Oh, right. So actually, let's do a shout out for Des. I was obviously, I'm Dez's mod, so I was obviously watching Dez's stream, but mostly lurking because I just had a really random number of things to do to prep today. But was playing Stray Gods, which is a musical game about Greek gods. So amazing. I didn't think I wanted to play it, but watching Des play it, I'm kind of like, oh, now I kind of want to play it. Now that I've been, thoroughly spoiled. But it's fine. But what do you what do you think of it? Are you enjoying it? All right. I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. Okay. Now I can actually focus. Okay. So, these aren't the sagest of puns. Oh my goodness. More herb puns. Y'all are the worst. This was really good. I'm really loving it and already looking to more playthroughs. Oh, cool. Good. Do Corey. What's the big deal? You'll ruin it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, you'll ruin the day. You'll rue the day you started an herb pun war. You guys are the worst. Absolutely the worst. Avoided Cobra also loves the game. Is that how you found Des? Because I don't recognize your name, but welcome to here. By the way, hi, I'm Leah Fireheart. I do a lot of cooking on this channel, but also gaming. Right now I'm playing Hades, which also has like a Greek god component. But that's not going to happen again until actually, I think it's going to happen Saturday, which I didn't talk about earlier, but I should. But today is Dragon Age Day. So today we are making recipes from the Dragon Age cookbook, including this Gurgut roast with lowlander spices and mushroom sauce, which is what I'm working on now. And so yeah, so that's what I'm doing today, and what I do most days these days, because I'm streaming every day between now and December 24th. Somebody's just gonna have to count those puns because I know I missed a bunch of them. Des says it's definitely made me have some deep thoughts more than I expected. Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that of that game either. Okay, Des says that looks amazing. I do need to raid and run. I gotta go pick up the oldest. Okay, bye, Des. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying your game. Drive safe, and we will talk to you again soon. Probably tonight when we inevitably play Fortnite. Love you. Bye. Bye. Say hi to Big Boy for me. All right. So, guys, I think we're getting closer to being done with the sauce. Strain the pan drippings into the sauce. Bring the sauce to boil again. Stir in cream and chives. I didn't buy chives. Whoops. And we're not going to use the cream, so this is fine. Okay. So now, next, honey carrots. Let's do these. I'm actually going to cut this recipe in half because that's just too many carrots. Ordinarily, I would write in a book, but I don't really want to write in this book. So I'm just going to... It is very, very pretty. Crisis laurel being the tree that bay leaves come from, which I also have. I know, I had some of your bay leaves. We used them. Grace is like, yes, it's too late to offer the last of my chives. I didn't realize you still had them. And literally, I went to the grocery store. It just wasn't on my list. Turtle says, oh my God, Grog, Chester is starving. Why aren't you feeding Chester? Put some food in that dog ASAP. He knows he doesn't get his dinner until 5:30. No, it's 5:30 now. He doesn't get his dinner until 6. He can wait another half hour. Yes, he will absolutely get fed at the proper time. Okay. Right. Transfer the olive oil to as large a frying pan as possible. I can't do that. I don't have any more frying pans. All of my frying pans are dirty. Oh, I could have used my cast iron for that. I didn't think of that. What do I want to use here? I don't really want to use my cast iron for carrots. I think this is going to require adjusting heat a little bit more granularly than it would with like the... We'll just use that. It'll be fine. Ooh, okay. Corey says, if you like Greek gods, I also recommend Immortals Phoenix Rising. What is that, Corey? Is that a game? 1 tablespoon of olive oil in the bottom of this pan. So for those keeping track at home, this recipe has requested paprika, mustard, thyme, and cumin. I'm just going to turn that off. It's a lot of mushrooms. It's a very mushroomy mushroom sauce. I don't know how much Grog is going to like this. Okay. Wait, is that still hot? No, it isn't good. All right. Half of the carrots. 1 pound of carrots. I should have just gotten 1 pound of carrots. What are we going to do with 2 pounds of baby carrots? I guess eat them. When the oil is hot, add the carrots. You know what's so funny? The recipe, so the picture of the recipe is whole carrots. The recipe is written as if it were for whole carrots. But in the ingredient list, it said to buy baby carrots. So I bought baby carrots. Okay, whatever, it's fine. Okay. Corey says it's got a Breath of the Wild vibe. Oh, okay. So, this sounds like maybe one for Brigitte. I don't know what Brigitte's up to right now, but Brigitte should maybe check out Immortals Phoenix Rising. Jane says, hold timer just hit an hour and I didn't get disconnected this time. Maybe I will get this done today. Let's hope. Corey says all the gods are locked up and you have to go adventuring and puzzling to save them. And Ares is a rooster. Grog says, can we leave Hades locked up? I like him. I like Hades too. Maybe not the Hades version of Hades, but Hades. Hades is good. Leave Zeus locked up for sure. Leave Apollo locked up for sure. Surprise, surprise, Hades is Hellraiser's favorite god. Or favorite Greek god. Durdle says, hello, I am a big animal lawyer and not at all Durdle with a fake mustache. My client Chester Chestington III. No, Chester has an actual name, has an actual middle name. It's Chester Arthur Burt. Is suing you for neglect and emotional damages. My client is ready to drop the charges if the defendants are willing to move beating forward time by, looks at watch, 25 minutes. Corey says, I guess mine is a little obvious. Yes, a little. Objection. Grog says, ha! You have the wrong client. His real name is Chester Arthur. Yes. We have some big feels about Hades. Yes. No gods, no masters. Just gods in video games and webcomics. Durdle says everyone knows Chestington is a common nickname for Arthur. Is this like help. Those two names. Farnshaw and Chumley. Chestington is British for Arthur. Grog says this is what happens when Chester calls lawyers off billboards or off the television. You guys, we ended up watching... Where were we that we ended up watching television? We never, like... If we watch a show, it's always on Netflix or YouTube or someplace like that. And we never, like, just turn on the TV and watch TV. Where were we? Okay, so what am I doing here? When the oil is hot, brown on all sides, about 3 to 4 minutes. Okay. Actually, hold on. I suppose it doesn't really matter, but we ended up watching... Oh, I remember. We were in New Orleans. And we were watching some local TV station that seems to be entirely sponsored by some, like, creepy defense lawyer. And it was... These commercials were something else. If you have a phone, you have a lawyer. It's like that. It was like that. Corey says, even the most strictest of mythos, Hades is at least a loyal and not cheating husband. That's true. Zeus be a horny god to BH. Yeah, that's true. Opting out says, okay, gods in video games. And we can allow masters in short form spoken word anime operas. What are we referencing now? Leah doesn't know pop culture. Corey says, on whatever Zeus did be damned, Hera had no excuse for the shit she put Heracles through. And as a treat in Doctor Who. Okay. Grog says, let's face it, the entire Greek pantheon is totally messed up. That's true. I mean, I feel like the representation although I have to say, in Lore Olympus, it's pretty good too. They're pretty heckin' dysfunctional, but not as dysfunctional as they are in the video game Hades. Speaking of which... The Game Awards. I don't know if anybody cares. I have never cared until now. Until I'm talking about it right this moment. But I did vote. And here's the reason why. Because someone told me that you can vote for Hades 2 as the most anticipated video game of 2024. And so I was like, I have to do it. I have to log on, to create an account, and I have to vote for Hades 2 as the most anticipated video game of 2024. So you can do that too. Actually, I don't know if you still can, but you could as of like 3 days ago. Grog makes a solid point. He does. Corey says dysfunctional, but able to talk about it for the most part. That's true. Durdle says, hello, this is Chester's lawyer again. Here to inform you that my client is dropping the charges due to his lawyers going to bed. All right. Durdle, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for advocating so brazenly for Chester. I'm sure he appreciates it. I hope you sleep well. Why am I coughing? Hang on. And have a great rest of your night. Good grief. What has made me cough? I don't think it's the carrots. Ah! All right. Corey says they put the fun in dysfunctional. All right. Stir, stir, stir. Stir, stir, stir the carrots. Right, what's the next thing? Season to taste with salt and pepper. How am I supposed to know if I've seasoned it to taste without tasting one? And these aren't done yet, so we'll just add a pinch. And pepper until it looks right. That looks fine. And then I have vegetable broth. Deglaze with the broth and stir in lemon juice. It actually, so I only need, I have vegetable stock, not vegetable broth, but whatever, it's fine. And, I need a 1/4 cup because I've cut this in half. Perfect. And then juice of 1 lemon. Actually, juice of half a lemon. I can actually just... That is a very juicy lemon. Cover the carrots until they are firm to the bite. About 5 to 7 minutes. I think we're going to err on the side of less cooking than more cooking. I do prefer my cooked carrots to have some chew. So, 5 minutes. Okay. Where did I leave off? Good night, Dirtle. Enjoy the taste of Thetis. Thank you. Appreciate that. Corey says Minty still puts the dis in dysfunctional though. Yes. Even as a plant. Thetis, I hardly know. Yeah, hold off by Decency Squad. Yes, indeed. Is a fun juicer. Yeah, we have kind of an array of juicers. We have this one, and then we have this one that we mostly use for things like, oh dear. That we mostly use for like bigger things like oranges. But the thing that's nice about it, running a business that requires me to visit thrift stores on a regular basis is that I think I have acquired at one point or another basically every kind of juicer, and this is the version that has made the cut. We like that one best. That type with like a sieve and a thing that catches the juice is like our favorite type. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of honey and 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. So let's find the balsamic vinegar. Oh, I didn't read the flavor text for this. I should. I'll do that as soon as I find the balsamic vinegar. Here it is. And then the honey, but I think I'm going to do the balsamic vinegar first. Although I do have... Wait, this had oil in it, which will be handy dandy for measuring out honey. That, I don't know what that is actually. Okay, honey. All right, Hellraiser says, just wanted to drop in and say hi. Y'all have fun. Hope the taste of Thetis is good. Have a great night. Hellraiser, thank you for popping in. It was really good to see you. I hope you also have a great night, and thank you. Okay, so 1 tablespoon of honey, and then half a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. So let's grab the half tablespoon. So this is ready to go when the timer goes off. But here is what it says about the honey carrots. In much the same way as the Inquisition is to the Inquisitor, a meal is more than just the main course. Sides form an equal part of the equation and deserve just as much care and attention as the dish they're served alongside. It's a lesson Mum taught me long ago and one I haven't forgotten since. So, of course, I noticed when this Orlesian staple made an appearance. It graced my table not once, not twice, but every single time I dined in Orlais. And while I enjoyed the traditional Orlesian rendition of this dish, which is on the sweeter side thanks to a liberal application of honey, those who prefer a level of sweetness more in line with the carrot's natural flavor should employ a lighter touch. So a slight dig at Orlesian cuisine there. Grog, what does that mean? No! No! You're terrible. No! That was so bad. That was really bad. I object. At least Jane liked it. You pleased someone. Terrible. The only thing that I didn't do is I didn't kind of plan anything that was like a side. Oh wait, we still have. Okay, we still actually have a little bit of couscous and white bean salad, so I'm going to use that as like our side. That'll be fine. I probably should have made some like potatoes or something. Does it say anything about potatoes? I feel like potato should be a very Dragon Age thing. I feel like it's one of the few things you see like stacked around the game is potatoes. Sides. Sarah's yummy corn, stuffed divine leaves, honey carrots, Navarin flatbread, and yogurt dip. There's nary a potato in sight. Oh well. Okay. Cool. I'll turn this down a little bit. Unaccountably, it's definitely the carrots that are making me cough. It's I don't know how familiar you are with the Dragon Age games, Jane, but Sarah is a character in Dragon Age Inquisition. And we are offered herb butter with parsley, chives, clove, red onion, salted butter, ground mustard, and chili flakes. 4 cobs of sweet corn, a 1/3 cup plus 2 tablespoons of milk, a tablespoon of sugar, and 1 red chili pepper. I don't know. 0% familiar. I would hope so because it sounds a little weird. Okay, so now let's do our half tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn off the heat. And then a tablespoon of honey. Forget onions. You want to gas a kitchen? Absolute best way to do that is to pour vinegar into a pot and boil it. So honey balsamic carrots. Fascinating. I don't want to cook them any longer because I think the honey is going to burn. So hopefully those are good. Okay. Right. What did I do with the recipe? Here it is. No. Wait. Where's Navaran flatbread? Honey carrots. Okay. Da, 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 da. Sprinkle with thyme leaves. 3 to 4 sprigs of thyme. This cookbook is obsessed with thyme. It says to do this off the heat, but it's dried thyme, not fresh thyme, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle this in here and give it a little stir to kind of wake it up a little bit, rehydrate it, so to speak. And it says to, like, let the sauce reduce and you can pour it over, but as you can see, there is insufficient sauce here to be poured over. I think it would have probably been about the same without the regular recipe, not doubling it. Oh no. Okay. Grog says Sarah has the skill set of Hawkeye and the personality of Deadpool. That is actually pretty accurate. Jane says I just heard my legal name and got a little whiplash. Grog says you can't stop time. Jane says time is the most precious thing we've got. I told you I was only pushing the pun button once for that, you guys. You can't continue to pun time and time. I won't allow it. Grog's jokes are causing Leah chip damage. I don't get it. Also, hi, Brigitte. Brigitte, have you played Immortals Phoenix Rising? Is that what it was called, Corey? Can't pun time and time again. Time and I don't. You have it though. Corey recommends it. Corey says it's good. Says it's like Breath of the Wild, but Greek gods. Oh, perfect. These carrots are perfect served as a side with hearty main dishes such as roasted turkey with sides or Gurgut roast with Lowlander spices and mushroom sauce. I didn't even notice that. Okay, I think we are mostly ready to eat. Add the white wine, thyme, stir, reduce. When the roast is done, transfer roasting to a canning board, sprinkle it with salt and a bit of cumin to taste, cover it loosely. I already let it rest. It's probably cold by now. Bring the sauce to a boil, add cream. I'm not doing any of those things. So, let's go ahead and grab these and this. And I will slice those up. Actually, what I might do is I might just quickly heat up the pan drippings. It didn't say to do this, but I have a little bit more white wine. And so that will enable me to, actually, let's go ahead and just, oh no, that's pretty warm. That'll be good. I'm going to actually use a little bit of this white wine to deglaze this pan. It does need to be a little hotter than that though, so I'm going to wait for just a minute. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Brigitte says Breath of the Wild with Greek gods. That's what Corey said. Jane says, I think I'd love this game. You should check it out. You should absolutely check it out. Breath of the Wild looks like, to me, like not my kind of game. I think I'll stick with Hades. So Immortals Phoenix Rising is probably also not my kind of game. I get overwhelmed in open worlds. I mean, I don't mind Dragon Age because there's like a long series of quests and you can just go and check off all the quests. But it's not like a real like open world. It's not like you can just like go and decide that you're going to be whatever. Like you're the Inquisitor no matter what you do. Brigitte says, okay, Leah, chip damage is small amounts of damage. Grog made a joke about potato chip brand Frito-Lay. Yeah, he did. Okay, and now I get it. Thank you, Brigitte, for explaining your pun. Let's just throw a little splash of white wine in here. Boop. And let that boil. I'm just trying to scrape up all of the nice little brownie browned bits here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this into the sauce, into the mushroom sauce. Really just heating this enough to get the stuff off the bottom of the pan. And then I'm going to just dump that in there. There. And then we will stir this up. That'll make that taste just a little bit richer. I don't know how much of this mushroom stuff you're going to want, Grog, but it looks pretty good to me. Okay. It's supposed to have cream in it. Do you want me to add almond milk, or do you want to just leave it as is? I think that's probably better anyway. It's got a lot of things going on in it already. That has lemon on it. Okay. Right. So I need a... Well, that's fine. We'll just use a fork. It'll be okay. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead, slice this up. All right. There's that. Let's grab 2 plates. I wonder what other animals you could do this with besides Gurgut. That hasn't really, like, worked out that well. There we go. Maybe we'll do like this. Okay. And then I'm going to spoon some sauce over the top here. Off. Oh, I didn't do a very good job of that. It's not exactly beautifully plated, but then again, it's also very brown. And then I need another serving spoon. Let's just use this one. And put some carrots. I guess maybe I should have made all of the carrots, because then we would have leftovers for tomorrow, but that didn't occur to me, so... There we go. I was more successful at plating Grog's plate than mine. Okay. And then I'm going to grab from the fridge. I have some lemony white bean quinoa salad that we didn't finish. And so we're going to just divide that up between the plates. Leftovers for the win. I'm not sure where in Thetis they eat quinoa and white beans, but wherever that is. There. Perfect. All right. Let me just... Hang on a second. How do I... Just random amounts of detritus literally everywhere right now. Too many pans. Oh dear. Okay. Brigitte thinks we can get to 2,000 puns before the end of stream. Please don't try. Stream is only going to be another like 5 minutes. Please don't try to do that. Actually, you know what? Grog's is really pretty and mine looks terrible. So I'm just going to do this. And then I'm going to do this. Can I need something to put under this. Maybe that. Perfect. Oops. Ta-da! Okay. Yes, we have to, the next time we see Chester's lawyer, we will be sure to tell him that Chester received food. Um, uh, yeah, Jane says, I'm not sure we have enough time for that. Exactly. That's a lot of puns, Brigitte. Fire household leftovers are classier than most people's fancy meals. I cook things and then we have leftovers. It's just how it goes. We probably want actual knives for this. But I'm going to put it on the plate rather than try to hand them to Grog independently. Right. So, here's our food. There's the food. Wait, did you guys get to see it? Here. Here's our Gurgut roast and honey carrots. It actually does look pretty good. I hope it tastes good. Okay, so I am going to ring the dinner bell because it's time for dinner. I'm going to go bring this to Grog, and I'll be right back. It's an interesting array of spices, that's for sure. Jane says hold timer just hit 1 minute and 1 hour and 30 minutes and I'm still connected. I'm glad you're still connected. I'm sorry you've been on hold for an hour and a half. I'm getting flashes into my Jella telling me to just grab my leftover polenta and caviar. I have been known to have leftover polenta, but I'm no Nigella. I've made that lemony white bean and actually, well, I've made that lemony white bean and caviar. Gosh, lemony white bean and quinoa salad on stream before. It should be on the website. I think it's on the website. And I made it when my parents were here. So we had just a little bit of leftovers. But I really like it a lot. I think it's very good. Okay. So Grog likes it. Excellent.
You're hot, Cupcake.
Hi, Quantum. Thank you for that. The honey balsamic carrots are edible. They are not my favorite thing. I don't mean to say that makes it sound like they're bad. They're not bad. I don't love cooked carrots, and these do have still like enough of a chew to them that they're okay. But like the balsamic and the honey, I don't know. Not my favorite. Like it's a combination I like, but like I don't know on the carrots. I don't know.
Have you in fruit or dessert?
Jim Bitty Bim Bim. Hi. Welcome to here. Brigitte Mrs. Carrots. Arcadia, hello. How are you? Jim, hi. Goshunk, hi. Hello. Thank you for that shout out for Jim. Jim was playing Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. How's Metal Gear going, Jim? Have you earned the skin yet? I don't, how does, no, I'm kidding. I played Fortnite with Jim yesterday and that was really fun. But Jim, how was stream? How is Metal Gear? How are things going? Jim says it's great. We beat up several children. Well, you are well prepared for Fortnite then. We should go do that now-ish, because I'm actually almost done with stream. Grog says I rather like the carrots. Okay, well that's good. It's good. I'm glad you like them. Opting else is way better than either straw gear or wood gear, I assume. You guys, okay. If you are not following Jim Bitty Bim Bim, now I can't unhear it. I have to clap. The claps are important. You certainly should be. We rated Jim yesterday. So some of you may already be following him, but he's a lovely variety streamer, is playing through the Metal Gear series, has recently completed Alan Wake 2. I'm not sure what else is on his docket, but he plays a variety of different types of games. True variety streamer, and a lovely person with a lovely community to boot. So follow Jim if you have not already. If you have arrived here with Jim's cadre or whatever, what do you call gearheads? Metal gearheads? That doesn't sound right either. I am Leah Fireheart. I do a lot of cooking on this channel. I am currently streaming every day until December 24th. So while ordinarily I don't stream on Mondays, today I am in fact streaming meals from the Dragon Age cookbook, because today is Dragon Age Day. So Alan Wake is Alan Woke. Yes, it says I'm playing Dragon Age Inquisition. I am only playing Dragon Age Inquisition in the kitchen. I am the serving girl from the kitchen. If you've played the game, you might know what that means. Hi. Leah made a pop culture reference. So we have in front of us okay, Brigitte knows. Jim says I'm only halfway through, so no. Wait, what? Oh, you haven't played all of Inquisition yet. Oh, are you still working through Inquisition? Oh my gosh, I guess you are. Okay, no spoilers. No spoilers for Jim. There's no spoilers here. These aren't this is like, there's a whole frame story to this book that's actually pretty cute, and like all the little flavor text that goes with the recipes. It's adorable. The book is beautiful. Like the pictures are just lavish. Honestly, as a piece of like official, I guess it's an official book, but as like a piece of fan art, big fan. So we are dining today on honey carrots and Gurgut roast. Apparently. Spoiler, carrots and Gurgut. Yes. So I haven't tasted the Gurgut yet, which is actually pork tenderloin. That's actually delicious. It had a very strange collection of spices on it. Mustard, paprika, thyme, and cumin, which are not things that I would typically think to put together. It's supposedly an Avar recipe. And it's actually good. It's really good. I have no complaints here. And cranberries. Dried cranberries. It lends just a little hint of sweetness. That is not a bad thing. I dig it. The carrots are highly edible. No complaints. Grog really likes them. But I might actually make that again. I like that. That's good stuff. Jim says I was looking at getting the cookbook after I finish the game. It'll go nicely with my God of War cookbook. Yes, you should. In fact, actually, I think if you wanted to, you could get it now. Like, I mean, unless you want to get it as like a commemorative of finishing the game, in which case you do you. But there's nothing spoilery about it. There's no It's kind of it's a story of a cook goes traveling in Thetis, and they make reference to various characters in the game, but I read through a bunch of the descriptions and I didn't see anything that I would have classed as like an egregious spoiler. Um so yeah, actually, right. So I mean, honestly, 2 thumbs up, I guess. Cookbook results in edible food. You know what I completely failed to do today? I completely failed to take charge of my ad breaks. I just forgot, and I don't even have it open. So I apologize to all of you who have probably periodically gotten stuck in various ads today. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Opting out says they don't spoil in the cookbook that all of DA was a fever dream Shepherd was having. No, they don't spoil that at all. Grog says the jury is still out on the drink recipes. However, that's true. They advise us to set raspberry brandy on fire, and I don't really know how well that would go. So, oh dear. Right. So, I just took a peek at my ad break situation because, you know, we may as well do that. Because why not? And it looks like we have just enough time to tie things up and let me sit down and eat my dinner. So thank you, all of you, for coming here today, hanging out with me, letting me indulge in a little fan art of my own via cooking from the Dragon Age cookbook. Let's quickly give some shout outs to all of my mods. Grog, sorry about the number of pans I dirtied tonight. Good luck. To Des, thank you for the raid, my dear. I know you were off picking up your son, but if you are not following Des, you should be. Speaking of Dad of Boy, Des is currently playing through God of War and also Dark Souls 1. Although today she was playing Stray Gods, the musical. So I think if you wanted to see any of those things, all of those are going to be in the offing in the next couple of weeks. Our master of puns, mistress of puns, Byron Mask, is streaming intermittently, so be sure to follow her to find out when she goes live next. And Dr. Andy 23, who usually is streaming on one or the other days that I'm talking about things, but because I'm streaming every day and he doesn't, he's not going to be streaming again until tomorrow. But tomorrow is Storyteller. And I don't know what he's playing, but it's always it's frequently an indie game. There's a lot of like chill times and conversation, and it's a fun time over there, so you should follow Dr. Andy. Next, let's do, hold on, socials. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this picture up on Instagram and Threads, where I do maintain an active presence, or at least I try. We also have a Discord. If you want to know what is happening shenanigan wise this month, and there's a lot of it, you can join the Discord, and actually all of those other places I've been posting when I go live and stuff too. So hopefully you won't miss that. But yeah, I'd love to have you in the Discord. I do post all the recipes there, and then all of our announcements and everything, and we hang out and play Fortnite, and it's a good place and a good time. What am I missing? I think that's about it. So let's go ahead and see who else is live. Aha! Grog has informed me helpfully that we have a friend who is playing a game within the Dragon Age franchise, which is Dragon Age Origins. So our friend Lil Blue Mazzotti is playing Dragon Age Origins for Dragon Age Day, which is only appropriate. So let's go ahead and send some love over Blue's way. I have started the raid. Grog has put the raid messages in chat. If you would be so kind as to grab those raid messages copy them, head on over there where Jane can continue to have excellent company for her IRS call. No, Blue is sincerely very, very, very sweet, very chill streamer. You will, if you enjoy Dragon Age Origins at all, assuming you're not avoiding spoilers or things like that, then I highly recommend that you at least pop in there, say hello, see if you like the vibe, maybe drop Blue a follow. I enjoy it over there a lot, and I think you guys probably will too. So, thank you so much, you guys. Have a great night. Have a great week if I don't see you. But tomorrow we start our holiday cookie baking. So tune in again tomorrow for more kitchen times when I start to bake some Christmas cookies. So that's it for me tonight. I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.